What's going on, everyone? It is Manny, Santiago, and we are here in my backyard. I'm with Nigel, and we're gonna do a little rundown on the California part I just put out on Thrasher. If you haven't seen it after this video, go watch it. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere or a video
in the description.
In the description.
I got you.
Click the like button and all that stuff.
Okay, so Manny, how many sessions was the Silmar stuff filmed in?
The Silmar stuff was filmed, so it was 5 tricks. It was like nollie flip feeble, heel flip crook, front shift 5-0, pop shift nose grind, very heel feeble. It was actually, all that stuff was the 4 sessions.
4 sessions?
Yeah, so I did nollie flip feeble first. No, lies. I did heel flip crook. Then I did nollie flip feeble. Then I did pop shove nose grind. Then I did very heel feeble, and then front shove 5-0 I did last. So the front shove 5-0 wasn't necessarily like I'm worried about filming like, oh, I'm gonna try this trick today. It was just more to complement the pop shove it nose grind, but also to pay homage to Justin Eldridge in Yeah Right, where he skates the Santa Barbara high school rail, and he does, I think, like 6 tricks on it. So, but he also does pop shove it nose grind as one of the tricks. So that whole intro section was dedicated to Justin Eldridge because he's one of my inspirations in skateboarding. And from the song, which was made from scratch as well, very similar to his Apache song, to one of the tricks. But then also I wanted to also sprinkle my 2 cents of my imagination of tricks into that.
Yeah. That was dope.
Yeah,
I appreciate like a hard sesh going down like that, you know? Like,
yeah,
I've always missed that. It doesn't really happen as much anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a lost art. And a lot of those clips were filmed at like 9 in the morning.
Damn, early bird.
Yeah, we would go there, right to it. I would get there, warm up. Depending on what trick I was trying, you know, obviously there's no warm up for pop shove and nose grind besides a nose grind. But for like, at least like the very heel feeble, I did, you know, front shove board, front shove 50, front shove feeble, then very heel board, so on and so on. You know, nollie flip feeble, I would do nollie flip board first, nollie feeble, and heel flip crook was my, I think heel flip crook was my, no, pop shove and nose grind was my favorite out of all the 5. Just because I hadn't pop shoved a nose grind a rail since like 2005.
Damn, way back.
Yeah, so it felt cool to do that.
Which trick was the hardest?
Out of the 5?
Yeah.
I want to say the nollie flip feeble.
Yeah.
It's just like a really hard trick. I don't think people really understand what goes into doing that trick. But you have to like warp the flip to go over the rail, but then dip down into feeble. And then on that steep rail to do feeble tricks is hard, but I like that rail a lot. It holds a big place in my heart.
All right, Manny, were there any close calls when you were skating the Westchester rail with the varial heel 50-50 and the nollie flip board?
Well, okay, so those are two separate sessions. Obviously, I had different color hair and different clothes. What's funny about the Westchester session, first I did the varial heel 50. So I went there to actually do varial heel feeble, and I got there, you know, warmed up. It's been a while since I skated it. I never got to fully skate it before, just like a 50-50. And, you know, board slide, front shove board, varial heel board. Then I go straight for varial heel feeble. And I'm trying it for like an hour. I'm grinding a bunch, but it's so steep that I just, when I stick, I'm like fall forward, or I just grind it so good. And then I'm so happy I jump off. And then after so long, I put in so much work, I was like, man, like, I don't want to leave without doing something. So I just switched the spot for the trick, and right away I told Mike, like, hey, I'm just going to do very heel 50. And I think I did it in like 3 tries.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you were already perfectly warmed up to just,
yeah, I was like an hour and a half in warm up.
Damn.
And then got that, I was super hyped, because I've always wanted to get like a legit clip at that spot. And I had reached out to Sierra because I know he skated that rail a lot. And I asked him if he had done anything on it, like if he had done, I think it was like nollie flip board, and he said, yeah, I think he did nollie flip board, and then did nollie heel board on the 11.
Yeah, the small one.
Yeah, so then I was like, okay, now I have a trick for the 12. So when I got there though, the whole run-up was taped off, and there was people working on the school.
Ah.
And I was like, man, like, because I didn't go on the weekend, I went there like whatever day I wanted to because of COVID. And I immediately go up to the guy, and I'm not even warmed up. I just run up to the guy, and they're eating I think they were on their lunch break, and I was like, hey, like, you think I can skate for a little bit? I wanted to ask before just starting to skate first, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you can't skate, you have to leave. And I was like, bro, just give me like 10 minutes, I promise. I'll put a timer on my phone, 10 minutes, I'll put the tape back, I'll put everything exactly how it was. And he was like, he like looked at me like he was getting annoyed. And I was like, I showed him, like, look, I'll put 10 minutes. And he's like, all right, you have 10 minutes. So I put the timer 10 minutes, boom. I had to cut the tape, move everything, clean up, skate flat real fast, and then did a board side, nollie board, and then ended up doing a nollie flip board. I think I still had like 2 minutes left.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we just literally, I put the tape back, tied it all up, said thank you. He didn't even look at me, and we just left.
That is the coolest story ever, dude.
Yeah.
That's so rad. Do you think that being able to work in pressure like that, it stems from you being like a contest skater?
I think my mindset was so positive because of what happened with Clipper that it wasn't so much the contest. I just prepared so well for each trick.
Oh.
Because they were already predetermined in my brain of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I told myself like I have no choice for every clip, you know. And even if something like the varial people didn't work out, I told myself you got to get something. Like you didn't just come here and waste 2 hours. Every day was vital to me because I set a deadline.
Yeah.
You know, I started in July and I wanted to finish before December because then I went to Puerto Rico for a month, and then when I got back, it was contest season, and I didn't, you know, there's two different worlds.
Yep. Totally.
And, that was my motivation for every clip. I'm like, I have no choice. You know, although I had a choice, but I told myself I had no choice.
Yeah, you put yourself in that situation yourself.
Yeah.
So Manny, was the kickflip crook nollie heel, was that a pretty tough battle, or did that come pretty easy?
Actually, no. So I just started during the pandemic. I luckily had the skate park, so I took the time to kind of learn tricks I've always wanted to do, and crook nollie heel was one of them. So I just learned that, but then I realized if I can crook nollie heel, that means any trick realistically that I can do into a crook, I can nollie heel out. So then, you know, there comes a nollie crook nollie heel, kickflip crook nollie heel, nollie flip crook nollie heel. And I was like, man, I really want to film one for this part. And Willoughby at that time, I had skated the bump to bleachers in my June 1st video part that was on Instagram. So I was like, oh, I could just do kickflip crook nollie heel on the bump to bleacher. And it was a mission. I tried it like 2 or 3 different times. And it wasn't until I you know, figured out the bump and how to fix it. Like I bumped a couple things right before it. And the reason why Johnny was so hyped is because we went back like 2 or 3 times. And that one I literally just flung out and just landed on it. I guarantee you if I went back now though, from all the crook nollie heels I've done, I could do it pretty fast.
Yeah.
But that one it felt so cool because then also Paul was there. And he's like the crook nollie heel master. So he was super hyped and everybody was super hyped and I was super hyped, and that's definitely one of my favorite clips in the park, just because it's something that all the other, you know, rail tricks, a majority of them I've done before, at least, you know, here or on actually handrail. So that one was like the first time I've ever done in the streets, so it felt pretty cool.
So Manny, was the nollie heel 5-0 on the blue benches, was that a homage to Paul?
Yes, that was definitely a homage to Paul. He was actually there. I mean, he was there for a majority of the part. Paul's like one of my biggest influences when it comes to skating, and especially for this part. A lot of my research was from Yeah Right, Manic Mahdi, Sorry, Really Sorry, and a lot of the Logic videos, which Paul's been in most of them. And yeah, it was definitely the Yeah Right where he does a nollie heel 5-0 with the cradle tab board and then kind of kicks it that way. But to be honest, I didn't realize that until after I got the line.
No way!
Because that's one of the tricks I do all the time. So subconsciously, without realizing, it happened that way.
Damn, that's rad.
Yeah, and what was funny is I was doing, and I stuck, it was nollie heel 5-0, swerve, nollie flip crook nollie heel, which is another trick that Paul does, but the bench, it wasn't working for me. So then I was like, oh, I'll just try front shove blunt. Paul was like, what? I'm like, yeah, try. He's like, that would be dope. And then I did it like second try.
That's rad.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a homage to Paul after the fact.
All right, Manny, how was the battle for the heel flip front lip on Hollywood High?
Well, just Hollywood in general was the biggest battle out of all the tricks. I went back 3 different weekends in a row, but I was trying a different trick. I'm not gonna disclose because I still want to do it, and I want you guys to be surprised. But then, with the time crunch and how much wear and tear was happening to me. Like my body was, I was getting slammed over and 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 over again. So I just had to make the decision to just do heel flip lip, which is a trick I tried a long time ago, but never did, and just settle for that. But then after the fact, I was pretty excited. And what's funny about that is, so I'm trying it, and obviously, like, you know, the rails, it's big but pretty steep, so you're like popping over and you're just seeing the whole rail. And I remember a guy had walked by and he said something, like two older gentlemen, and sometimes you're like in your head and like you have all these demons and you're just like don't want nobody to talk to you. And I kind of yelled at them, like kind of like just keep walking. And then I realized who I said that to, and I felt so bad. So before I threw down, I said, this is for you guys right here. And then I told myself I had to commit no matter what. And that was the one I did. And then I ran back up and I apologized to them. I said, you know, I didn't mean to yell at you guys, because that was just me and my feelings. And it has nothing to do with you guys. I'm sorry. And they were like, no, that was cool. And I was like,
Okay, so you did a laser flip down that double set that people skated back in the day.
Yes.
I have a feeling that you're going to open that set back up, and a lot of people are going to want to start skating it again and like thread the needle how you did, you know?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to skate it. I've seen it before in passing, but never, by that time they had already put they'd already welded the bolts, the nuts to the bolts of the tables down to the ground so you could move the tables. You know, and I had to do what I had to do and figure out how to get the tables out the way. I'm not gonna say who did it, how they did it, but we removed just enough tables so you can skate the double set and kind of thread the needle. You know, I didn't realize that these tables were gonna be a problem, because when I went, someone else was trying to trick and they would literally ride into the table.
Oh.
And I felt so bad, but then I realized how much prouder I was of the laser flip, just focusing on what I needed to land.
Yeah. Were the clips, were the tricks on Clipper filmed during the same trip?
No, so the Very Hill 5.0 was earlier in the part. We had gone up to SF. Mike drove up with a couple people. I was in Oregon visiting my son. And what had happened was I met him in SF, and I got there on Thursday, so I didn't skate. Friday, we went to Navajo High, where I filmed the line where Arto does fakie flip switch tray with the white excels on. So I did nollie flip, no push, 3 shove just to complement that clip. Then that same day we went to Pier 7. I did the front shove nose Manny nollie tray. Then Saturday we drove to Sac. I did the fakie 3 shove switch manual on the rock manual pad, and then the front shove feeble on the San Juan rail. Then Sunday we went to Clipper and I did the Very Hill 5.0. So,
damn, that's a successful trip.
Right? And then you would think so, right? Then Mike's car had a recall, so he had to bring it to the dealership, and it wasn't ready till Thursday. We were supposed to leave Sunday. So now we get a new Airbnb in SF, and we have to switch Airbnb. So mid change, we pack our bags. We go into the city. We go to the park that has the full houses, and we're just kind of doing like touristy stuff, chilling. And Johnny had went to the store to pick something up. On his way back, he had forgot his wallet, so he had to go back to my car, go to the store, get his stuff. When he came back the second time, he looked at me kind of weird and told me that my window was broke.
No.
Yeah, and then so I'm like looking at him, and we're like this, and I kind of look over his shoulder, and by that point I see Mike already running towards the car. And I see the window broken, and I was like, wow. And we were so close to the car. No further than here to your car.
Wow.
Right now.
And I heard that happens a lot, though.
It happened 3 times that week to skaters. Yeah.
Whoa.
And so Mike runs back. He's pale white. He's on the ground, breathing hard, like yelling, it's gone, it's gone. I'm like thinking everything's gone, like cameras, everything, literally. And he's like, the bag's gone. I'm like, what's gone? And he's like, the bag with the hard drives. All the footage is gone. And I was like, okay. But I could tell he was like super bummed, because he took it upon himself. Like he felt like responsible, and I had to calm him down. Like, Mike, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. I need you to calm down. Like, you're gonna have like a heart attack right now. You need to chill. And we calmed him through it. He was still really upset. We got in the car, called the window place to fix the window. Nobody wanted to do it because it was really late. Then finally a guy calls me back and he says he could do it. So I gave him the address to the Airbnb, and he was gonna meet us there. We go to Sammy's, pick up one of the chargers, a hard drive, and some memory cards. Drive to the Airbnb. We're chilling. By that point, Johnny's calm. Well, Johnny was never tripping. He was actually super chill, but Mike was tripping. And then so the guy's fixing the window. He fixes the window. I'm inside, like taking, unpacking my bags. Mike comes back inside and he sits down. He's stressing, and I'm like, Mike, bro, like I need you to calm down. Like I really need, like I need to stay positive, so we can get all this footage back.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's not that. He's like, I just crashed your car.
What?
So.
Oh my God.
So I was
from
like,
the
looking
best
at
trip to the worst trip.
Right? I'm like looking at him, and he's like, no, for real. He's like, I'm so sorry. So I walk outside, and he's behind me, like apologizing. And I get to the car, and I see what had happened. He backed it up into a telephone pole, and I was just laughing hysterically. It starts raining. It's all misty. It's like a movie, and I'm just like, ha 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 ha, like, ha, no way. Like it's like the Mark Johnson, like Hot Chocolate Tour. He's like, he's here, like glove, head, cut. I'm like, footage, mic, window, bumper, mist, rain. I'm like, this is my MJ story.
Oh my God.
And then so I tell him like, it's okay, it's just a car. Let's go back inside. He's really apologetic. I'm like, look, we're gonna wake up tomorrow and we're gonna refilm everything. We have 3 days. He's like, all right. So he's, I make them food. We go nowhere. It's funny because Johnny was like, hey, like an hour passed. Johnny's like, hey, like, we're gonna go get food. Like, we're gonna leave and go get food. Mike's like, we're going nowhere. We're gonna wake up early tomorrow. We're gonna get all this footage. Manny's gonna get it done. Oh, and I'm just like laughing the whole time. I'm like, I'll just make you guys dinner. So I made them dinner. And then the next day we wake up, 8 o'clock out the door, drive straight to Sacramento, do the fakie 3-shove manual, better than I did the first time. Then end up doing 3-shove nose manual to complement the fakie 3-shove manual because Paul and Jeremy skated it, and Jeremy did an ollie 180 heel manual. It looked so cool. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do that. Then we go to the hat store. I buy an SF New Era hat. Then we go to Sammy's, get the other charger for the other camera, go to the San Juan rail, do the front shove feeble faster and better than the first one. Then go to Folsom High where I did the Berrics heel where Paul does nollie flip and Beeble does nollie heel. Filmed it exactly the same. Cruise down the school. There's like a double shotgun rail. It's like a 9-stair or 8-stair. Get 3 clips on that for a black play get it. So that day alone I got 7 clips. And then the next day, wake up early, go to Clipper, Berrics Hill 5-0 again, better than the first time.
Damn.
Get in the car, pick up Mike's car, go home.
Dude, props, bro.
That's my SF story.
That's awesome.
So I ended up getting a total, if you count the first amount of tricks, it was like 16 clips in 3 days.
It's a good thing you're consistent, bro. Oh my
But
God.
yeah, I mean, I just had that attitude though. I had no choice, that I told Mike, like, Mike, I'm not coming back for all this. Like, we're gonna do it. If I did it once, I'll do it again. And I want to prove to you that if you keep a positive mental attitude, you can accomplish whatever you want. And that alone, Mike, after that, anytime there's something happens, like, nope, it's all good. Everything's gonna be fine, because he used that weekend
as a model.
As a model for like, get on your stuff. Or if people don't want to film clips, he's like, oh, let me tell you. Do you remember the SF story?
Yeah.
he loves it. He loves it. So.
That's so rad, dude.
That's my clipper. And then for the Nollie Hill 5-0, that's funny. We had gone back and we drove back when they had the forest fires. And Mike was like, yo, like, I don't know. And I'm like, bro, like, I'll fly you up there. Like, we'll go. I'll drive up. So we drive up. We go to, first we skate. I wanted to get the kickflip crook and Nollie Hill 5-0. So I was like, let's do one Saturday and one Sunday. So we go to Sacramento, skate the San Juan rail, get the kickflip crook. But in midst of getting the kickflip crook, I bruised the bottom of my foot, like really bad. But I got the kickflip crook, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna ice it all tonight, go tomorrow, handle business. So wake up, my foot's really swollen, still go to Clipper, try the Nollie Hill 5-0, but the pain was so much, and I realized there was still so much more left for the video part that I had to make the decision. I'm like, okay, we got one clip, that's fine. So we drive back to LA. I replan to go back for the Nollie Hill 5-0. Make the trip back to SF. My homie Nick Hansen was down to film because Mike had to go to New York. So he drove up, got the clipper, set everything up, Nollie Hill 5-0. Best feeling of my life, in a sense, one of the best feeling clips I've gotten. the way I landed, to the way everything felt. And
You can tell you're excited, dude.
yeah, I was high. Yeah, I was so gassed. I've envisioned wanting to do that for so long, and the Varial Heel 5.0. You know, like I nollie heel 50'd it in a famous video like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I always knew this is my thing. There's so many tricks, including in this part that I did, that I've been wanting to. These are tricks I've been wanting to do for the last like over 10 years.
Damn.
But I never got the opportunity. I never made the time and put in the work to get that all done while balancing the contest and sponsor obligations. But since COVID allowed me to have my time, I was able to do that. And I got like 95% of everything. 97% of everything I wanted.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
There's still some unfinished business, and I want to put out a part by the end of this year, hopefully before December. I want to finish another part before December to follow up the sequel of California.
That's amazing, dude. Well, props, bro. Thank you for the interview, and I'm excited.
I hope you guys enjoyed the part. I'm gonna also be dropping little videos on the video part that breaks down to every spot and tricks. So after all that, if you want to go to my channel, I'll be posting every Sunday, I believe, a story on every clip and the B-roll behind it and stuff, unseen footage. So make sure you go to my channel. Just it's in the description, and I'm gonna start posting again. So
Start posting again, bro.
Hello, YouTube
Do shorts
world.
too, man. Yeah.
so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're inspired. Just remember that in light of a lot of darkness, always see the light so that you can know where you're going and water your plant.